My best friend saw my dad at the rehearsal dinner and blocked me afterwards. The truth behind it was worse than I imagined. I was getting married to my high school sweetheart Jake in June. Everything was perfect. My maid of honor was my best friend since college, Melissa. We'd been inseparable for 8 years. She knew everything about me, all my secrets, all my embarrassing stories, everything. The rehearsal dinner was at this Italian restaurant downtown that Jake's parents paid for. About 40 people showed up. Family, wedding party, close friends. My dad flew in from Arizona where he'd been living with his new wife for the past 5 years. My parents got divorced when I was 16 and dad remarried pretty quick. I wasn't super close with him anymore, but he was still my dad and I wanted him at my wedding. Melissa arrived late to the rehearsal dinner. She walked in wearing this cute blue dress and I waved her over to our table. But the second she saw my dad sitting there, her face went completely white, like she'd seen a ghost or something. She froze in the doorway for maybe 10 seconds, then she turned around and walked straight back out. I tried calling her, texted her like 15 times, nothing. I figured maybe she got food poisoning or had some emergency. But then I noticed she'd blocked my number, blocked me on Instagram, Facebook, everything. I was freaking out. My maid of honor just disappeared 2 days before my wedding. Jake tried to calm me down, said maybe she was going through something personal, but I knew Melissa. She would have told me if something was wrong. The next morning, I drove to her apartment, knocked on her door for 10 minutes straight. Her roommate finally answered and said Melissa didn't want to see me, that she needed space. I started crying right there in the hallway asking what I did wrong. Her roommate looked really uncomfortable and said I should ask my dad. What did my dad have to do with any of this? I called him immediately. He was at his hotel getting ready for the wedding. I asked if he knew Melissa or if something happened at the dinner. He got really quiet on the phone, too quiet. Then he said we should talk after the wedding. I told him no, we're talking right now. That's when he admitted it. About 4 years ago, he was in San Diego for a work conference. He went to some hotel bar and met a younger woman. They hooked up, one night stand. He said he felt terrible about it and never told his wife. My stomach was already sinking because I knew where this was going. I asked him what the woman looked like. He described Melissa, the same Melissa who was supposed to be my maid of honor. Same red hair, same freckles, same everything. I felt like I was going to throw up. My dad slept with my best friend 4 years ago and neither of them ever told me. Melissa must have blocked the memory or something because she never mentioned hooking up with some random guy at a hotel bar. Or maybe she just never connected the dots. But seeing him at the rehearsal dinner, meeting him as my dad, it all clicked for her. I drove back to Melissa's apartment. This time I wasn't leaving until she talked to me. I sat outside her door and said I knew everything, that my dad told me what happened. She finally opened the door. Her eyes were all red from crying. She said she had no idea he was my father back then. They never exchanged last names. He told her he was divorced. She thought it was just a random hookup during a bad breakup she was going through. When she saw him at the dinner and heard people call him my dad, she wanted to die. I asked her why she never told me about the San Diego hookup. She said it was one of those things she was embarrassed about. A drunk mistake with a stranger that she tried to forget. She never thought it would matter. We both just sat there on her couch crying. My wedding was in 2 days and everything felt ruined. I confronted my dad again that night, told him he lied to Melissa about being divorced. He admitted he was still married to my mom when it happened. That's when I uninvited him from my wedding. My mom walked me down the aisle instead. Melissa stood next to me as my maid of honor because none of this was her fault. My dad sent a long apology text that I never responded to, haven't spoken to him since.